Hey, what's up everybody? Real quick video that I want to put together, some topics I want to discuss, but I decided to bring out the Vivitar headphones with the little disco lights on the side. These things are pretty cool, so I just thought I would wear them. That's why the reason why the lights are off in my office is just to kind of help showcase that. I know the cameras on my Chromebook is not always the greatest, but you guys get the idea of it, right? So anyways, first thing I want to talk about is the HTC Desire 12. Now, I have backed HTC in the past. Some things they've came out with have been questionable, like the HTC One A9. Favorite phone. I really like that phone. Problem with that phone is the battery, which is the only thing that could be the negative of it. But I mean, if you carry a power bank, you'll be fine. And I'm willing to do that, you know, to rock the phone, because the phone actually, almost dropped it, actually runs fairly well. And so I tend to like to use it, switch in between it. As a matter of fact, right now, I'm actually running the Pixel 2 launcher on there, so it gives it that I guess Pixel look, whatever. Just the way that I like it, so it's set up that way. But anyways, the HTC Desire 12 making its way and possibly going to be released in April 2018. But there are some things about the device that bugs me. As far as it being dropped, and if these are the actual final specs of the device, it's going to be absolutely annoying. So if you guys look up over here, you guys will see exactly what it looks like, what you would expect from HTC. A really nice design, really nice build, going for that real premium quality look. You can't knock HTC for that. And for me, you know, if I had the extra funds to buy an HTC Desire 12, I definitely would. But unfortunately, my daily driver network does not support it, so I won't be getting it. But anyways, would I get it? It's a hit and miss, and it's a hit and miss not because of entirely the build of it. It's the idea that they put into it. So with the HTC, the HTC Desire 12, it runs a different GPU. I believe it runs a PowerVR GPU. I don't remember exactly the chip number of it, but which is totally different, from the Adreno 506, which is on the Desire 12 Plus. The difference between the 12 and the 12 Plus is a 5.5-inch display on the 12 and a 6-inch display on the 12 Plus. Both of them basically at 720 by 1440 is the resolution. The 12 Plus, I think it's at a 263 pixel per inch, and the Desire 12 is at a 233 pixel per inch. The chipset that they decide to use is also different. I believe on the Desire 12, it's the MT6739 quad core, which is weird that it went with that as a processing chip, whereas on the 12 Plus, it has the Snapdragon 450 octa-core clocked at 1.8 gigahertz. Both are 32 gigs with 3 gigabytes of RAM. However, the Desire 12 has a 16 gigabyte with 2 gigabyte of RAM variant, so there will be a lesser version than the 32 gig model. And then the major thing between them is the OS that it's running. With the Desire 12 set to be released right out of the box with 7.0 Nougat, and the 12 Plus getting 8.0 Oreo out the box. That does not make any sense to me at all whatsoever. Why would they have two devices? One is your base device, one is your Plus version of it, and exploit the Plus name by giving the Plus version the latest version of Android out right now, which is 8.0 Oreo, and give your base version of yesteryear's or last year's operating system Nougat. That doesn't make sense. I mean, if the 12 Plus, basically to me, the way that I look at it, if someone was to say, hey, did you hear HTC's coming out with the Desire 12 and 12 Plus? The first thing that's coming to my mind is size. One is smaller than the other one. The base one is going to be the normal one. The Plus version is going to be a bigger version. That's what comes to my mind. I don't expect, someone says the Desire 12 and 12 Plus is coming out, that the 12 will have an outdated OS and the Plus will have the latest version OS. That just doesn't make sense to me. They both should have came with Oreo. So this is, again, a move by HTC that in my eyes doesn't make sense, because no one can say that it's based on pricing. OS has nothing to do with pricing. But but the type of hardware they use does have to do with pricing. If you're using a particular chip, a particular GPU, a particular battery, you can expect the phone to cost more. So having the latest version of Android and then the last year's version of Android would not change pricing at all whatsoever. So I don't understand where HTC is going with this, but more to come as they continue talking about its release. As far as build quality, I can say that I'm actually digging the design. I'm a simple person. I don't like overly extravagant things and care too much for an all-screen display. That's not something that's important to me. So to see a device built such as this that's not following the bandwagon trend of notches and all that other stuff, it's refreshing for me to see that. And so good on HTC for that, and also for them reviving the Desire name, because one of my favorite devices from HTC was the Desire 601 that I had when I had Virginmobile service. I still have the HTC G2, which is T-Mobile's G2's device, basically for T-Mobile. I still have it sitting here. And then, of course, right now as my daily driver, I'm using the HTC One A9. So HTC does, it ranks up there with some of my favorite branded phones, but their decisions on doing things such as the Desire 12 and 12 Plus, those things make me kind of cringe at HTC as, what are you guys doing? So anyways, moving on to the next topic, basically a lot of people are starting to delete their Facebook accounts, and here's why. So obviously data was actually ciphered out of Facebook by a company, and all this basically begs the question of, is your data on Facebook safe? Are companies able to get your data and use it for their benefit? And a lot of people were upset in the fact that this happened, and to the point that people are starting to delete their Facebook. I mean, when I look at my Google timeline feed, I see a lot of posts teaching people how to permanently delete your Facebook. So first off, let's get one thing out of the way. If you're going to delete your Facebook page, know that it takes 90 days for that to delete. So you have to set your page to delete. And when you set it to delete, you need to log out of every device that you have. Log out of Facebook on every device that you have, because if you do it from your phone and then you get on your computer and you accidentally punch in Facebook's URL and it auto opens and you're automatically signed in, that is going to negate your action of deleting the profile. So once you set your profile to delete, you cannot go back in it. Otherwise, it will basically reignite the profile, and then you would have to go through the steps of deleting the profile again. People are looking for different social media apps that they can use in place of Facebook because they don't trust Facebook anymore. But I got something to say regarding the whole trust factor here towards the end. We'll get into that here in a little bit. But if I'm to offer any type of solution or any type of advice as a social media that's similar to Facebook, but is not Facebook and will allow you to do almost the same things that Facebook does, minus the fact that it doesn't have live broadcasting from it or any of that sorts, or stories, like Snapchat or anything like that, would be Google+. I am a huge major advocate for Google+, and that's because Google+ has always served me best for social media experience. Not just in the fact that I can, meet up with other people on Google+ that are into the same topics and hobbies that I'm into and discuss mobile technology or photography or video gaming or retro gaming or any of that sorts. But there are very, very much interesting people on Google+ that use it exactly for what it's for, a social media experience. They're not geeks, nerds, gamers, or any of that sort. They just like being on Google+. And because of that very reason, I recommend Google+ to anybody out there that wants to try a new social network, just to try a new social network. You don't have to be leaving Facebook, but you can definitely try Google+. It's very worth it. There are some things that people will be nitpicky about. Don't mind the nerds. When we geek out on things, ultra precision is in our thoughts, in our hearts, and so we will nitpick things to the very, very, very tiniest details. But just for a social media experience, Google+ will probably be the one that I would definitely tell people to try out, see how you like it. You don't have to have an Android phone to have it. You can very much so have an iPhone and download the app and use it from an iPhone and use iOS. But it's just one where there's not too much going on with Google+. Now, I know that sounds pretty negative to say, but it's more in this context. So there's not a lot of BS type things floating in your timeline, right? So you're not always just hit with all these things that are just, to you to being irrelevant. The things that you follow, the things you like to follow are the ones that's going to be relevant in your timeline. So, the people you follow, the communities that you follow, and, the collections, because they do have this thing called collections where people can, post things of a particular topic as a collection, and you'll get to see those, like photos and videos and things like that, for whatever it could be, toys, comics, photography, traveling, whatever it may be. You have those options with Google Plus, and you can obviously you can post your thoughts, you can link a certain thing, you can share a post, you can even start a poll. Like if you want to get people's insight on helping you decide on things, you could do a poll and let people vote on it. It has some real cool features in it without a lot of the overwhelming dramatic stuff that happens on Facebook. And so if you are in the market looking for a new social media to try out, my son, if you're looking for a new social media to try out because you are leaving Facebook, then I would definitely recommend Google Plus. Check it out. Give it a shot. Try it for 30 days and see how you feel about it afterwards. Don't just base your decisions on 2 or 3 days. Try it for 30 days. Make some friends, follow people, have them follow you back, share a post and all that good stuff, and see how you like it. And then if 30 days it doesn't fit what you need out of it, then move on to something else that's suggested by somebody else. But other than that, with Facebook going down, what I want to know from you guys, now that we're at the end of the video, is this. Are you guys going to leave Facebook because of what happened? Because if you kind of think about it, with the whole thing of privacy, yes, I'm going to play devil's advocate here, because technically what you post on your Facebook profile should be only private to those people that you want to see it. So that is your right to it. But at the same time too, the internet is never a safe place to store secrets and all kinds of other things. So when you post something on Facebook, you should never, or even on the internet, you should never feel like it's going to be 100% protected and safe, because there's no such thing on the internet. So yeah, let me know in the comment section if you guys are deleting your Facebook. I'd really like to know. And if you guys are hopping on the bandwagon for the lawsuit against Facebook, let me know your guys' thoughts, comments in the comment section of this video. If this is the first time checking out my video and you want to subscribe, I'd really appreciate that. Click that subscribe button and also the bell option so you know when I upload a video. And that's pretty much it with my little disco headphones going on right now. Yeah, until next time, guys, thanks for watching, and aloha.